Hi, Taman. How you doing? Okay, so I was reading your writing. Everything here is making pretty good sense. I'm not real sure if I think that this is going to be an issue or not. Um, Boy, I tell you what. As a designer, the your last resort is placing things in boxes. We saw it somewhat successfully done. Actually, we saw it successfully done in the examples that I had included here, where we can see we kind of gradate that down semi or transparent box, and we see it here again. We see that gradation here. It can work, but using a straight up box is really your last resort. So I'm a little concerned about that. I would like you to see if there's any way that you can assemble this type to be a little bit more visible without. There's two concerns I have with the type. Number one, it's really bunched over to the left side of um, the composition. So, I think that this should be on one line and should come out to about here. I would even increase the size a little bit of that headline. So, enjoy the Caribbean views with us, right? Like that, right? Now, an option for you, if you're really having difficulty with readability, an option is to duplicate the type and change the color and then place it behind the original type, offset it a little bit. Here's an example in the announcements right here. Here, this is called offset type, and it's really a really neat way to draw a little bit more visibility to the type, specifically if it's located on a busy background like I've used here in the example. It's a superior technique than stroking type, which you really don't want to do as a designer. But offset type will work, and I think it'll work here. I really do. I want you to experiment a little bit because, as I said, I think there's two issues with the type. Number one, it's in a box, which is the last resort. Number two, it's really jumbled over to the left of the composition. So again, I would assemble that as one line, all right, and then this subhead, when you indent this, I would like to see a further indentation. I think you're too close to the edge of the banner right there. So indent to about here. First headline right there. That remains static. Then fade this in. You're going to left align that with the headline. Fade it in and fade it out. Right now, it's just going too fast. Excuse me. It's going blink, 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 blink. That's not very relaxing, really, when you think about it. It would be more relaxing if it were to fade in and then fade back out, and then immediately fade back in. So you have this slow, gradual fade as opposed to this in, out, in, out, in, out, which just doesn't seem very relaxed. Um, that's really my only recommendation is to really try to and remember. I'm just gonna say that in as a professional designer, a lot of times we see young designers and specifically student designers doing this a lot of common mistakes, and one of them is trying to place things in boxes. That's why I'm saying that placing things in boxes is your last resort. Please try to do anything you can to get that box out of there. I think with the box, it kind of tells the viewer, especially up to a professional, somebody who may be reviewing your portfolio, or even at the time a hiring professional who's interested in maybe hiring you, is going to look at this and say, okay, this box is here because this designer had difficulty trying to determine a effective way to make the type a little more readable with this image. So it's a real world problem, and it's something that it could entail a different crop. It could entail maybe cropping something like this. Do you see what I'm saying? Watch my cursor. Cropping something like this, so you have this open area to place the type in. So there are many, many feasible alternatives to using that semi-transparent box, and I really want you to explore those. Other than that, I think that the work is fantastic. I would have liked to have seen this in comparison with the magazine ad, as I had recommended to students in the week's Welcome to Module 6 video from the announcement. I had recommended that students, right here, I had recommended students include that PDF of their magazine ad. So if you resubmit, maybe you can include the magazine ad. But please let me know. Most important thing is that you let me know if you have any questions. And then, of course, I want you to know that if you do resubmit, I'm here. I will provide additional comments. So please feel free to make the adjustments and resubmit, at which time I'll be glad to provide further recommendations. Okay, Taman, great start. Nice work, man. Everything, you're showing outstanding proficiency. Right now, it's just a matter of the aesthetics of the composition and the actual page mechanics itself. Other than that, you're showing outstanding proficiency in logo placement, image adjustments, masking, typography, etc. In terms of placing typography. So everything is pointing to outstanding proficiency. So right now, we just want to work on fine-tune the layout itself. Okay. All right. Again, the most important thing is to get with me with any questions. Thank you very much.